You told me earlier that your ambition, your desire is to increase the numbers for the presidency, and perhaps for
myself,
for yourself. Now, tell me, the Volta region is the seat of the so your first foot is already in Parliament, but the concerns being raised from the region, not South Dayi, but the region, that the NDC has neglected the region because it knows that it is its stronghold. You think that won't affect South Dayi constituency, and how do you intend to deal with it now that you've started your campaign?
It is a very mischievous statement to make. And by 2008, at the end of 2008, there was only one private university in the Volta region. It was even a university college. That is the EP Church University College. With one polytechnic.
Oh, it's 2008.
Yes. 8 years down the line, in August 2016, we have 5 universities. We have the EP University College, we have the Technical University College, we have the University of Health and Allied Sciences with campuses in Hohwe and Kata. Aerodrome is being constructed in Ho for the first time. The whole township roads are seeing an upliftment by way of Ho is perhaps the only regional capital without is of development. We cannot say that because we constitute a stronghold for the NDC, we should demand every developmental project from the government. It would be unfair.
You think you have received your fair share?
We have received our fair share, and if time permits, I can enumerate hundreds of projects in my community.
South Dayi
in Tongo Chanak, but where I come from, there used to be no secondary school. I can show you photographs of a brand new community secondary school.
One of the community
not taking the format of the E-block. No. This is a brand new community secondary school.
Constructed by government?
Constructed by government within 6 years. It used to be a community school that we were supporting the community to run, but the government has taken it over and done a fantastic. I'll ask that TV3 comes to South Dayi to conduct some documentary of projects and developments.
So when people talk about South Dayi and say that, well, the constituents have voted for the NDC and yet they don't seem to see the projects that they need to see. You're suggesting it is not right.
Let me give you. The South Dayi is the first district or constituency that you enter when you cross from the eastern region. When you cross from the eastern region, you are coming over to the Volta region. You get to a very important junction town, which is a nodal town, Eskuma.
Right.
You branch off to Enumbusu. That's the eastern region. To my left, that's to the east. Then you veer off, then you enter Peki, or you take the whole route through Sanga, Dededo, Chito, and you go to Hoa and Navasi. Now, that's the Eastern Corridor project commences from my constituency. It is a 24-kilometer all the way from Eskuma to Have.
Right.
It bifurcates my constituency into 2. As I speak to you, another 23.4 kilometer road from Todome, Chate, Kaira to Tongo Germany, Agorake, to Parliament Dugan, all the way to Ajebi is under construction. It was awarded to GS Global, a Chinese company. They are doing a similar project from Juje to Wehi in the Volta.
And work is ongoing.
Work is ongoing.
There are no complaints about the fact that there are problems with completion of work?
We have constructed twin dormitory block for Peki by the Honorable MP. And then 2 years ago, the Get Fund has commenced construction of a boarding, the dining hall facility for the same school. When I go to Peki Secondary, this is Peki Secondary Technical.
Right.
When I go to Peki Secondary, work is ongoing on 2 projects in tandem at the same time. Now, that is not all. We have constructed chiefs compound in a lot of communities. When you get to the district capital, we've done a lot of projects. Now, in my community, in my side of the constituency, there's no pipe-borne water. But we have been able to liaise with safe water. And I can show you photographs.
Are you talking about Germany and the rest?
Germany and the rest. I can show you photographs of all the project sites in these communities. And it's not a fluke. In addition to the construction of a brand new secondary school in my community. So South Dayi, as I speak to you, has had its fair share of projects.
It's not a constituency that you think the NDC has taken for granted.
Not
because
at all.
It knows. You can show these pictures to our
Yes.
cameras. Yes, you can show them to the camera for them to see. You think that it is not communities that the NDC has rejected at all?
Not at all.
So these are some of the projects.
This is the site where the Chinese construction company is going to lodge. They are lodging at Chate. It is equidistant between Todome and Tongo Gemini. That is where they are basing to undertake the
You can show us more of the pictures. All
Yes, I'll show you.
Okay.
So these are some of the earthworks.
So all these projects are these schools?
Yes, this is the community school I speak of in my village, in my town. This is some of the masters bungalow, teachers bungalow.
All right. So now, then one would then want to ask if this is the case.
Indeed, I'm not cutting you short. As I speak to you, we are making
arrangements. Can you take your thing from your microphone? Okay.
Yes.
Right,
as I speak to you, we are making feverish arrangements to undertake the Peki Township roads, to construct the Peki Township roads. I agree, they are not in the best shapes. But because of the construction of the Eastern Corridor Road, suddenly its bad state has become pronounced, if you understand what I mean, because of the asphalt road.
So there's a comparison.
There's a stark difference. So I have explained to my senior persons in the party and in government. They appreciate the fact that the township roads are in a bad state. We are making arrangements. I have been asked to go and do the dimensions, measure the dimension, and bring some cost, so that at least, even if they cannot be tarred, they can be reshaped and re-engineered, realigned for purposes of improvement. And so we have not neglected Peki, we have not neglected Kweve, we have not neglected Tongo, we have not neglected Mali.
Aren't you doing this because the people got up and said, you have taken us for granted for far too long?
No. When the NDC has been the party that won the seat since 92, and the district then, we were under the Kpando district. Kpando district had two constituencies, the North Dayi constituency and the South Dayi. And so all the developmental projects in South Dayi had to be comments from the Kpando district assembly at the time. But we had our fair share. Now over time, during Dr. Ampofu's time, he fought hard and we obtained a district on our own as a constituency. So the constituency is older than the district.
The district.
But we were able, he worked hard. Dr. Ampofu worked so hard. And we won for ourselves the district. And since then, we have experienced leaps and bounds in terms of development. Now, the key challenge I have is the rate of unemployment among the youth and the extent of distribution of health facilities
in the constituency.
In the constituency, because now we don't even have one district hospital. The only hospital we have, which is the major one, is the Peki Government Hospital. So we are working to see if we can have a district hospital either in Kweve or at the Kpali side.
You just told me about how you intend to lobby, use your powers as a member of parliament to lobby for development to the area. Let's talk about the economy of South Dayi. You said portions, part of it is an agrarian one. They go into a lot of farming, but I know you also have some fishing there.
Yes.
what challenges do you see, and how do you intend to support farmers, fishermen in reducing poverty in South Dayi?
Now, there are two or three major markets, and the Peva market and of course the Tongo Gemini market, which is about the largest periodic market in Ghana. Now, surprisingly, reading some reports, including the 2010 population census report, I have because you see, I grew partially up there, but funnily they put the number of fishermen at 2.3% of the population of South Dayi, and I found it very curious because in Germany with presently with a general population of about 10,000, I believe about 30% of the men are fisher folks before they do any other thing.
So the 2.3 figure is too low for you?
It's too low. That is what I found very funny, very, very interesting, but I cannot doubt it. But because I also realized that in that census report, Ajebui number 1, number 2, Bogboni Kofe, Egbokofe, Chita, Abui number 1, number 2, number 3, Todume, Beibome, Chukwu Kofe, Suji Kofe, Akpato, Chiedu, Sanga, Anyinsu. They were all taken out. They were not taken into consideration.
They were not captured by the report.
So they have left out a chunk of the community without accounting for those people. But these are things I'm sure in a couple of years time there will be another population census. So back to the question, I know there are even not being a member of parliament, I've been able to lobby for a lot of projects for the constituency and the district. So my becoming an MP will rather put me in good stead to be able to lobby for more projects. I know there are policy interventions at the Ministry of Agric to assist inland fishermen with purchase of arbor motors, that is for the fisher folks, and nets. We are also seeking, because I have the entire western boundary shares borders with the lake, with the Volta Lake. We intend to push aggressively fish farming. Fish farming is
on the lake.
Yes, because we have 2 or 3 Chinese companies who are already engaged in fish farming in the district. One is in Abui number 3. There is one at Tongo Agodake, and there's one also at Tongo Ajebui or Pogboni Kopa, I think so.
And they have employed Ghanaians?
Yes, they have employed people from my constituency, even though these are companies with foreign ownership, but they have employed my people, and I'm very happy. So what I will do is there's a project initiated by the district assembly, so I hope to liaise with the current DC, Honorable Bequin, so that we can revamp that project at Abui number 2 and aggressively manage it and keep it running to make it profitable and also become a major source of employment, as well as initiating other fish farming activities. When you go to the other side, the farmers, there are a lot of also policy interventions. So we'll see how we can help to move the crop cycle of the people in Agbate, so that they can have direct link with the Free Zones Board. They can have companies coming in to buy their fresh vegetables, pepper, onions, garden eggs, and maize straight. Some of these products are flown directly to Dubai and the UK now. Now, as to the market women, we will have to follow Maslock and other small-scale business financial assistance institutions to help them. But the guarantee will have to be that when you take the loan facility, you must ensure that you pay back, so that others can also have others can also have access to the same facility to help improve their tabletop or corner shop businesses, to make life better for them.
Let's stay on the Volta Lake. The issue of tree stumps in the lake is one of concern to many, and some have suggested that it's hampering effective work from the fishermen there. Now, I don't know if Germany is one of the areas that fishermen experiences a lot of troubles on the lake. Now, has it come across to you that what can be done to deal with these boats that are overloaded, these boats that get capsized on the lake and lives are lost?
That's a very good point. The Volta Lake has its seasons, and so on occasions where the rains are heavy and it overfloods, the issue years ago, Jerry Rawlings himself, the ex-president, took charge of some of these projects and came to settle for a few days. And we were happy as young people, kids, seeing him diving, cutting the trees himself. I also recall that during the time of Honorable Jifar Ativo at the Ministry of Transport, she initiated some projects that brought in technical men from I think Holland, for them to come and undertake the tree cutting exercise. They began from Kwando Toko. They were supposed to move towards my end of the lake. That's Agodake, Tongo Agodake to Tongo Gemini to Ajebu and all. But I think the program fizzled out. But a lot of tree stands were harvested because I went to Kwando Toko and saw some of them. I don't know how the program fizzled out, but it is a matter of concern to. I have photographs. If time permits me, I'll show you how the situation looks like now. So there's a program by the assembly to check overloading of the boat owners who bring persons across the lake from Afram Plains and Abutuasi and all for purposes of the Tongo Gemini market. And in addition to that, they also don't allow them to leave, I think after about 4 p.m. They're not
allowed to travel.
So that, to sail. So that, the boats, they are not like vehicles. It takes them some time. So you are not caught up by darkness. Because if you leave Germany at 4 p.m., it's not likely you get to Abutuasi before 6. The situations become precarious when it is nightfall, because then you cannot see a protruding tree trunk from out of the lake.
So one key thing is to stop them from traveling when it's getting
when it's beyond 4 p.m. They are compelled to lay over and leave after about 6 a.m. the next day.
And how is the assembly doing that? Stopping
the assembly has personnel. They have personnel who are parading in conjunction with the unit committee members at Germany. Indeed, the presiding member of the South Dayi Assembly is also the assemblyman for Germany West Assembly. The Germany West, that's the Germany West. This is the assemblyman for Germany electoral area. Right. So Honorable Bada and Honorable Wavuada, they are the Germany assemblymen, together with Honorable Blaise Dagbe, that's the Tongo Chanakpe assemblyman, because the Tongo electoral area covers Agodake, Tongo Agodake, and Atoklupo, and Fantikope. They are all along the lake front in the Tongo Agodake area. So they work together, and they have unit committee members who police the lakefront during market days and on and off days, so that they check. So and it's help. We have not, in all the accidents that have happened lately, it has not come from my side of the region. It's happening in Ketekrachi, Abutuasi, Amankwatonu, Donkokrum area, because we have taken reasonable steps to check some of these things. I'm not saying we have totally eliminated the lake boat hazards, or accidents, but we have taken reasonable steps
to minimize.
The people are not happy when it happens. Right, when somebody wants to sail across the lake and you stop the person from sailing,
from going.
They are not happy. But
so the key thing here then is to cut the stamps.
But the stamps, it's very expensive. It is not a project that even the MP or the assembly can do. We don't have the wherewithal to support it.
But if you get a mandate in Parliament, how do you intend to use that position?
It has to be.
For government to
I may have to make a statement on the floor of Parliament regarding the perennial danger it poses and how we can get Parliament to make a decision regarding ensuring that the government comes out with a policy as to how they should cut the tree trunks or minimize the numbers of the trunks in the lake.
That's how you intend to go about it.
Yes.
Let's begin to wrap up our conversation. Now, South Dayi, the NDC, and you said the campaign is on, your foot is ready in Parliament, but you're not being complacent. Do you see the challenge from your contenders as able to push the NDC to give off its best, the party you represent?
Yes, I do not underrate competition in any form. I am one person. When there's a competition, don't ever underrate a competition. So I do not underrate even the independent candidate, Mr. Bonsu from Avetile. No, I take all the contestants seriously, and we have our strategies in place, and we are working. Now, the PPP party was the one that came second during the general elections the last time, and he got votes in communities like Tongo Chanakwe, Agodake, Tongo Ahon, to Balime Dugan, Chate, Todome, and Kweve, and a bit from Vegbe. And these are areas where, it happened because it was a revolt vote, because I lost in the primaries to the city MP. And this time I have won. And so the dynamics are different. But like I said...
You don't think there could be a playback of what happened?
No, there will not be a playback, because if you don't take the people for granted, they won't take you for granted. That's my principle. If you are committed to their welfare, that is why I am often in Accra, lobbying, following up on projects so that they are delivered. I came from the constituency. I had been in the constituency. I was in court on Tuesday. Some persons have complained against some names being taken out of the register. We contested that effectively, and the person's name have been restored. From there, that's in Piki. From there, I went to Hohwe to work in the name of the party. They are seeking that about 550 persons' names should be taken. We are resisting that effectively. From there, I came back to Accra. Yesterday, I was at the ministries following up on some of these projects I spoke to you about.
So you're working for the constituency?
And Friday, I will be back in the constituency, and I will do my rounds. There are a lot of funerals. I have to put in appearances. I have to let the people know that you are with them, you are for them.
Let's wrap up in just some 45 seconds. Speak in your local dialect that those in South Dayi will understand, and tell them why you think you're the best person for the seat, and then we'll wrap up our conversation.
South Dayi, Medogbene nyuamole Tienu, Sanga, Anyemsu, Avetile, Jake, Chame, Afeviope, Blengo, Jogbati, Udome, Agbate, Ajokwe, Newtown, Old Town, Todome, Kwaibome, Sojikope, Akpato, Manu Atakope, Peve, Chopokope, Vegbe, Camp, Wawasi, Chate, New Kaira, Ahon, Anlaton, Chanakpe, Chita, Abri number 1, number 2, number 3, Solomon Kofe, To, Dugan, Tongo, Chanakpe, Agodake, Atokulupo, Germany, my base, Badok Banemi, Jakiti, Pogboni Kofe, Egbo Kofe, Ajebui, Milea, number 1, number 2, Badok Banemi Apete, Dafio Mekpo, lawyer Dafio Mekpo, ta mi kodo dashina na ma wona mi malage mo do na mi echo fira magbana na mi anya kwa na mi jora maga toga gagbo na edo mi onto mi na ba NDC ekwe doga ta maraka maga blame maraka PPP a ma sikuma doga afi wacho bridge ta mi kodo na NDC da fa makpo pe JM na ma wona mi ma cho do na mi akpe na mi peke machichi obete madogbanami na echona maonola mava makpomi akpe yon le doji.
I'm grateful. Nelson, for your time this morning. Roxanne Nelson Dafiamakpa is the aspiring member of parliament for the South Dayi constituency of the NDC, and he's asking for the mandate of the people to represent the parliament. We actually invited Lovely Davis of the NPP and Felix Lati of the PPP to be on the show. They agreed to be with us, but unfortunately, they could not make it to +275 on time. Well, thank you so much for being there.